Hello, welcome to the Lone Show. I'm your host, John May Lone. In this episode, no regulars, because reasons as always. As for our guest, he's from Delray Beach, Florida. He is chairman of the International Polo Tour Association and team captain of Team USA Poland team, and as well as the president of Hotels at Sea Luxury Cruise. Well, that's a lot of things to do. Ladies and gentlemen, I give you Tareq Salahi.
Oh, great to be on your show. Thanks for having me.
You're welcome. So, how's life?
We are doing well. We just returned from playing two back-to-back charity events, one for We Will Survive Cancer in Middleburg, Virginia, just outside Washington, D.C. And then just this past weekend, we played again and we won both games for the hostage aid program with the Nizar Zaka, who himself was a hostage for 5 years in Iran. And both events were very successful, and proud to say that the International Polo Tour, participated, and we were very lucky, and we won both games.
Wow, impressive.
Thank you.
And welcome. Is there anything else for the future?
Yes, so really, we're really just beginning now. Even though when we say the season's ending in the Northeast, we now have the Florida season that's going to be starting in November. That goes through April. So we'll be playing throughout Florida in the Wellington, Palm Beach County area. And then a new game has been added to the schedule. It will be beach polo on Singer Island, and that's in Palm Beach. So that's something new that's being added to our schedule in February 22nd through the 26th. And beach polo is an exciting game. It's a little bit like arena polo, 3-on-3. And we are working on that program right now to participate and support that as well.
Nice, nice. What inspired you to compete or play polo?
Yeah, great question. What really inspired me to continue to play polo, I've been riding my whole life since I was, 5-6 years old, and then I was doing 100 jumpers. Then I was doing Grand Prix in Europe, between Belgium, Luxembourg, Germany, France, and then a friend of mine got me introduced to polo in Virginia as a teenager, Colonel Billy West, and it really just took off from there. And it was a very addicting game. So he saw something in me between, riding skills and having good eye-hand coordination to really to focus on polo as the main game. So I've been doing this now my whole life, over, without giving away my age, but I've been playing polo now 40 some years, and just love the game. Just, the teamwork between the human being, the horses, your other teammates, the trainers, everybody that's involved. Teamwork isn't just on the polo field. It's also behind the scenes that happens, getting the horses ready and of course, the training and what we call the grooms, assisting the program. So it's an incredible amount of teamwork that goes into a project like this, and we're really proud of all our teammates, both on and off the field.
Yeah, absolutely. Where do you see yourself 20 years from now?
Well, 20 years from now, God willing, I'm still here. And I would love to still be playing polo. Hopefully, the body will allow that. It's a tough sport. It's tough on the body, but it's a great way to keep, the body in check, because keeping the mind going and thinking about a strategy, where to be, also working with your horses, communicating with the horse, being in the right position on the field, it makes you think harder. You need to be quicker, be faster than your opponents. So it's great for the mind and stimulation of the mind, and it's obviously great for the body because you're working every muscle in the body, and that's wonderful. So I hope I still am playing in 20 years. I plan on it. There's many folks that have gone into their late 70s and even in their 80s that I know that have played polo, and some of the greatest legends in the world, like Billy Soccer, he played, into his 80s. He played for quite a long time. So there's no reason why you can't, as long as you keep the body in check and in shape, and the mind is there too. So I plan on doing that, and with that in mind, with polo, we also have the company Hotels at Sea, Luxury Cruises. Well, that's our main partner sponsor, along with some other ones. But the cruise line industry is very, very heavily involved in the sport of polo because it's the right crowd and attracts the right type of wealth to be involved and book these types of ships and suites or charters or groups on board our ships. So I plan to be doing that the rest of my life.
Nice, nice. If you could live anywhere in the world, where would it be?
Where I am right now, I love living here in Palm Beach County, Florida. Uh, but I always say I really love wherever that moment is where I am at that time, whether it's on a cruise ship or in Thailand or in Australia or South America. Uh, I love the moments and the memories that I'm creating at the location where I am. So I'm an adventurer, and I love to travel. So it's important that I enjoy those experiences, and we do that for our guests as well that travel with us to really enjoy and take in those experiences at the time and enjoy that moment where you actually are.
Yeah, of course. Are there any jobs or opportunities you haven't done yet that you would like to do someday?
Oh, sure. There's many things that we haven't done. I haven't done yet. I've wanted to always play polo and travel to Mongolia, and I've always wanted to play, in of course in parts of Asia. I've been lucky to play in Thailand. That was amazing. But there's so many wonderful places to play polo that I've not yet done, and we do plan on playing in the future at many venues that we have not yet experienced. In terms of travel, yeah, certainly Nepal is a big one. I do want to go to Nepal and experience that adventure. And some of our cruise programs do have land programs that we offer as part of the cruises. So we do offer these types of excursions into places like that and others. But one big adventure that I'm working on right now is that we have a cruise from Seychelles to Madagascar, Mauritius. It ends in Cape Town, South Africa. And then after it ends there, we're going to have all our guests join us for a polo match in South Africa. It will be a USA versus South Africa match. So that's something new and exciting that we're announcing. And this program is with Silver Sea Cruises and Hotels at Sea. So people can go to our website, hotelsatsea.com. They can click on the VIP cruises, and that's a special program that we've curated that we're offering for our group for polo enthusiasts, players, if you will, but mostly those that are interested in the experience that we've put together. It's a very detailed program, leaving from the Seychelles, going to Cape Town for a 17-night cruise. So we're super excited about that one.
Fabulous. If your mind was an island, what would it look like?
Oh, that's a great question. I love it. Certainly, there'll be a polo field on that island with many horses, thoroughbreds, quarter horses, and of course, a beautiful beach villa facing the ocean. Full bar. Everything that you can imagine. But yeah, the beach villa with a polo field on the island would be ideal.
Yeah, I'd say the same actually. If you were chosen to be a colonist for a new habitable planet, would you take the offer?
I'm sorry, you broke up there. If I was chosen to do
If you were
what?
so if you were chosen to be a colonist for a new habitable planet, would you take the offer?
Yes.
All right then.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm an adventurer. I like risk too, and being we're all adrenaline junkies in the polo world, and certainly the travel world. So that would be something I would love to do. Sure.
Nice, nice. Would you sleep on the wall or sleep on the ceiling?
I probably would take the ceiling.
Yeah, I'd say the same too. With all the floor space too. What could you give a 40-minute presentation on without any preparation?
Wine and polo. That's easy. I grew up on a vineyard. My master's is in enology and fermentation science, so from the University of California, Davis. So I can talk forever about wine. I certainly can talk forever about polo, but that would be an easy peasy no-brainer for me.
Good point. That's a good point. If your life was a meal, what kind of meal would that be?
Oh, I'm old school. in terms of fine dining and a good meal, I'm always a sucker for just starting with a beautiful steak tartare and the traditional Caesar salad, and then the traditional wagyu beef, wagyu steak, or wagyu fillet, or even a saga fillet. I think saga is some of the finest wagyu style. Well, the saga is really its own style meat in the world, and of course with the garlic mash and a beautiful bottle of red wine, preferably from my vineyards, from Celebration Vineyards or Oasis Winery. But I also love, all our friends at Camus and Chateau Margaux and Cheval Blanc, of course. I love a beautiful Cheval Blanc, one of my favorite Bordeaux's in the world. But yeah, that would be my ideal dinner on the American experience, if you will.
Yeah, absolutely. Have you met anyone famous?
Oh, sure, in the polo world, even at the wine world, uh, and traveling, you always run into many famous people. I've met and I've played polo against and with well, now King Charles and Prince Charles at the time, and I played uh, with his son Prince Harry. We played against him. He retired on my game, in fact. USA versus England. We ended it in 1-1 tie, and he presented me with a trophy. I mean, I'm sure our agency can get you a photo of that, or it's on our website, of King Charles presenting me with a trophy back then as Prince Charles, saying, "I'm retiring from your game." And he presented me this trophy. Nobody knew what was going on. And all the paparazzi and the media started taking pictures like, "Oh my God, Prince Charles is retiring from the sport of polo." So that's just one of many. But, we have some polo players that are also A-list actors as well. Sylvester Stallone is a very accomplished, well-known polo player, although he's not playing right now. He has played quite a bit, and his brother uh, as well. So there are many people in the Hollywood scene, if you will, that have been involved in polo one way or another, whether they're enthusiasts or whether they're players. So in this case, Sylvester Stallone was a very good player in the Palm Beach community.
Wow, impressive. I never thought I'd hear the day, but there you are.
Yeah.
That's impressive. If you were given 500 acres of land, what would you use that land for?
Well, you have to put 10 acres aside for a polo field, that's for sure. Um,
Yeah.
we put another couple hundred acres of some Cabernet Sauvignon, Merlot, Cabernet Franc, the varietals to plant and make some beautiful wines. And then, use the rest for other agricultural crops to produce, any other products that we want to produce or make. Maybe even wheat or barley to produce a good home brew, if you will. So you have the best of all worlds. You can make beer and make wine and produce everything agriculturally, supporting the land and having the land give back to you, and then use the small remaining portion of 10 acres for enjoying the sport. And after you play polo on the 10 acres, you're celebrating with your own wines and champagnes and beers.
Oh, yes, absolutely. What do you enjoy most about playing polo?
Well, I really love the teamwork. I love the fact you're interacting with, the players, the teams. I love competing. I love the opponents as well. I know that we might be strong and hard on each other as a challenge, and we might be mean and nasty and rough out on the polo field. But after the polo field, we're all hugging and cheering, laughing, crying, whatever it may be, because we're all enjoying the sport. And sometimes that's half the fun is, after the game, is what happens afterwards. And in Argentina, they're very famous for having asados, which is basically a barbecue. But you have the asado after the polo, and then it becomes very social, and you get to mingle with your friends, meet new friends, meet, most importantly, like-minded friends that really love the sport and love the social side of polo, because that's polo. That is what it's about. It's just not about going and playing the game. No, it's about everything else around it, from the hospitality to the social side, and that's just as important. But that drives polo to where it's going into the future. Getting more and more people involved and more people activated and interested in the sport. And now, in our sport, our fastest growing segment are women entering the sport. So, this is very important is what do you do? How do you promote the sport? How do you advocate for the sport? And things like these social activities are very important and they're very fruitful for the sport.
Yes, that is very true. If you're going on a road trip, what two items do you make sure to bring with you?
Well, if you're going on a road trip, you definitely want to bring your camera. In today's world, your camera is your phone. So you definitely want to have your camera so you can capture video, audio, and still pictures with. So that's number one. Number two, your passport. To make sure there's no boundaries. You can just travel the world wherever you want. So I put those two fairly equal together.
Fair enough, fair enough. What was the last book you've read?
Well, the truth of the matter is, I can't even recall that because I don't know if the last time I picked up a paper book. Today's everything's in a digital age, so there's not too many that I can even recall. But I did just receive a book, and called No Ordinary Dog, and it's just about a hero dog. Here, I'm going to grab it for you.
All right.
This was written by a Navy SEAL, No Ordinary Dog, and they're actually involved in polo. They're great supporters and sponsors. But Will Chesney, U.S. Navy SEAL, wrote this book, and it's a beautiful book about heroic sacrifices and friendships between human beings and canines or animals, if you will. So it's a very special book. So yeah, that would be the last paper one I actually really ever read. But now everything's in a digital age on Kindle or what have you and online. So,
Wow, incredible.
yeah.
Would you rather never use social media again or never watch another movie or TV show again?
Yeah, that no, if I had to choose, it would be never use social media again because it's work sometimes. It's like a full-time job, and obviously you know that because that's your business.
Yeah,
But I wouldn't mind never using social media again.
honestly, I'd say the same. And I know I'm using social media and the internet for a lot of stuff, but the thing is, although it is convenient, there is a price to pay. If we're so reliant on the internet and it just shuts down one day, what you gonna do? What you gonna do about that, you know?
Yeah,
You're pretty much stuck.
yeah, it's true.
I know what answer you're gonna give for this. What is your favorite summer activity?
Well, I've talked about polo so much, so I'll lay off on that. Obviously, that's what I do all summer, every weekend. But I love just getting together with my friends and going off on a private cruise on a ship or a yacht and just going out to the middle of nowhere where nobody knows you and you can be yourself. You can lay your hair out, so to speak, if you will. So I like getting away and doing things that off the beaten path that most people wouldn't do. Sometimes it can be as simple as going to another city in Florida or going on a yacht with some friends and just going out to Bimini, and going into any of the islands and the Exumas, which kind of remind me of the Maldives. The Exumas do in a different way, but I really enjoy these kind of escapes, if you will.
Yeah, me too. What should they teach in high school, but they don't?
What's that about high school? I'm sorry, might be my
What
connection here.
what should they teach in high school, but they don't?
I think they should teach, especially in American high schools, the basic things of life, like you know how do you balance a checkbook? How do you do the basic things in life that are never taught from home skills? At least in our high school, I went to a military academy, which was our high school. These types of things weren't taught, although they taught many things that were wonderful, like aviation and flying, which are important if that's going to be your career. But the basic things, how do you get through life? How do you use technology today? None of these things were offered when I was growing up, but they're very important.
Yes, they sure are. When things break, do you prefer to fix them or replace them?
No, I always fix them. I like fixing it. I find it as an adventure, just almost like a game, trying to repair it. And if I can't do that, then we go to the next step.
Good point, yes. Would you rather speak all languages or talk to animals?
Well, I guess we can't say all languages are also animal language too, but yeah, I would love to talk to animals. It'd be fun to be a Dr. Doolittle.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
It would be cool, yeah.
What app can you not believe someone has not made yet?
An app that we need that no one's made yet?
Yeah, what app can you not believe someone has not made yet?
I always thought it was interesting that no one's made an app. Uh, you know, I know there's many apps for meeting people, but once you're on board a cruise ship, there really is no app to meet other passengers that might be like-minded, whether they're, single male or female or whatever sexual preferences they desire. So there's a lack of that, and I've always been surprised that no one's done that yet in the cruise ship industry, where it narrows down to the passengers, anywhere from the 300 up to the 6,000 passengers that are on board, so you can meet people. Yeah, they have these meet and mingle cocktail drink times, but sometimes in this day and age, people like to actually, go online and check them out first. And I think there's an opportunity there.
Yeah, that is so true. What is your favorite quote?
Well, no question, that's an easy one. It's Winston Churchill. Winston Churchill has said that polo is a passport to the world. Having a polo handicap is indeed a passport to the world. You can go anywhere in the world to any polo club and experience that club, experience polo, and meet new like-minded friends in the sport, and you can discover that world very easily if you're a polo player. And that's a Winston Churchill quote.
Wow, impressive.
Yeah, most people didn't know Winston Churchill was an accomplished polo player, but he was in his days.
That actually makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
Would you rather able to breathe underwater or have an agility of a cat?
Oh, breathe underwater. Yeah, that's easy. I'd love to explore the oceans. I'm a scuba diver. I'm an advanced rated scuba diver with Patty, and I love scuba diving. I feel like you're on a different planet when you're doing that, when you're scuba diving in different parts of the world and you're seeing different things. It would be amazing to be able to to diving without worrying about how much air you have left in your tank to continue exploring underwater.
Yes, all the possibilities and all the land and all the places you could go if you just went underwater.
Yeah,
Yeah.
indeed.
If someone wrote a book about you, what do you think its title would be?
I think the title would be The Adventure, because I view life as an adventure. And I just have a spirit for loving life. So I think the title would be The Adventure.
Yes, absolutely. What is something that always makes you laugh?
Listen, I'm old school again and good practical jokes. So I love it when my friends either get me on a practical joke or I get them. And then when you grow up in a military boarding school, you know all the fun tricks to do and to make each other laugh. So, whether it's a practical joke where you're scaring somebody, like you've seen, like everybody's seen online on Instagram, like the Bushman who's at plant and he scares people, or practical jokes where you tie a fake snake on somebody's shirt and you say, "Hey, you got a snake," underneath you, and they're running away and the snake's still chasing you. These kind of fun practical jokes, they're always fun and makes everyone giggle and laugh and have a good time. Then you have a cold beer afterwards and you say you're sorry.
Nice. If it works, it works.
Right?
If you had to get rid of a holiday, which one would you get rid of?
Well, I don't know. I mean, I think all the holidays are appreciative, for their own. Some are obviously very important to this country. So none of those. I think there was a holiday that I didn't even know was a holiday, was a cheeseburger holiday. When supposedly the cheeseburger was invented in America, came across my Instagram. I didn't even know that existed. I certainly don't need a lot more cheeseburgers in my life or any higher cholesterol, so maybe I'd get rid of that one.
Oh yes, I can see it now. Have you ever imagined this world is nothing but a massive garden?
A master garden?
A massive garden.
Master starter. I'm not sure. Sorry, it's just...
I know, okay. So, have you ever imagined the world is a big, massive, like as in big, garden.
Oh, big garden. Well, I think we are, aren't we? I would say that planet Earth is really a big garden, isn't it? We're always growing in many ways, and we're growing and learning all together, and we're trying new things. So I kind of view it that way right now.
Yes, that is so true. What is your favorite life hack?
Life hack.
Yes.
Well, I would, my favorite life hack is probably doing what I do naturally right now, knowing if I see two people and I know they may want to talk and they're not talking, uh, I've been very good at hacking on how to get people to interact together that normally they would not. And if you're calling that a hack or if you're calling that just using charm, I think it's a combination of the two. But a life hack like that is something that has obviously worked with us because I've introduced maybe 5 or 6 couples together that have since gotten married. I've even married them myself because I have a license to marry people both on cruise ships and here on land. But that's probably one of my favorites when I can see sparkles or fireworks going off between friends that normally would not have been able to meet each other, and I make that introduction.
Yeah, I agree. What is the one thing you can't live without?
Well, love, number one. I think love is very important for the heart to keep going. And that could be love of anything, whether it's loving another human being or loving your horses in the sport, loving your friends, loving your life. Certainly, having your health is the most important thing in the world. If you don't have your health, you have nothing. But I think love really does and put all of that together and can mend many things as well, too.
Yes, that is so true. And that is all we have for this episode. It's great having you on, Tareq, talking about being captain of the United States of America national polo team, president of Hotels at Sea Luxury Cruise, and so many things. It's been great.
Well, thanks for having me on your show. I really appreciate it and look forward to seeing you at a polo match we hope soon somewhere in the world.
Yes, me too. And until next time, stay tuned for more.